say, as I'm just walking through this forest here, my heart's been really heavy for the last couple of days, and we are September 12th, so this is actually the 13th today. Everybody's seen in the news that Charlie Kirk has been shot and killed, and I don't know, I just can't believe that something like that would happen from somebody's differing opinion, right? And it just makes me reflect back to, you know, these are all young people that are dealing with these super high emotions, you know, and it's like, what's bringing on such a strong, you know, stance or hatred for someone that has a differing opinion? It just doesn't make sense to me. When we were young and, you know, that age, you know, we didn't have the internet and whatnot either. But our biggest argument was about who made the best truck, right? Chevy or Ford. Sorry, Dodge, you weren't really included in our conversations or our circles anyways, but you know, it's gotta, it makes you wonder, you know, just where this not being kind, you know, to people is coming from. It's very troubling, and it's very concerning. I think we need to just shut the internet off, you know, for a period of a couple of years and let people kind of recalibrate to what they actually experience themselves for making their opinions, and not calibrating their opinions on what so many other people are thinking. Because in a lot of these cases, you know, there's a very loud, we'll say, you know, 5-10% domineering the conversations and stuff to you know, make you see their point. And what's kind of interesting, actually, and I've always kind of said this going back, you know, a ways, and the unfortunate thing is that it's been the political movement that's been driving, you know, all this hate and causing this divide and this two-sidedness, right? And when I was a union president, and before that, like, I used to vote Liberal, right? But Liberal's mindset has changed over time, and it's not for the, I'm gonna say, the blue collar worker or conservative type of thinker. There used to be more of a blend there, and I've taken these what they call these political spectrum tests to see where you're at, right? And when I do these tests, I'm actually just slightly left of center. But the thing is that the left has gone so far left in their ideologies that it's not really left anymore. It's something else, right? And the farther they go left, the more extreme those people in the middle seem on the right. And, you know, I get it. They see, you know, maybe that I'm the hateful one or whatnot. But you know, the truth of the matter is that it's kind of plopped me into the conservative mindset here. And as a conservative thinking person, if you want to throw a label on it, the biggest difference I think between a conservative minded person, we'll say a new liberal minded person, is that conservatives like to just like live and let live, right? Hey, you do your thing and I'll do my thing. I'll leave you alone and you leave me alone, right? And the problem is that liberal, new liberal-minded person, they don't think like that at all. They actually, it's not good enough that you think that way. They need you to change your mind to think like them. And that's kind of the dangerous aspect of things, because it throws a monkey wrench in the whole communicado thing of you have your opinions and I'll have mine, right? It doesn't actually allow for that, and it causes a lot of tension, and so much so that man, I think the people are just getting, you know, ramped up on other people's hate and whatnot, and taking things to the extreme. It's just a real heaviness that's come over me here in the last couple days. One has to wonder where, you know, humanity in general has just kind of lost its way, and you know, maybe the technology is to somewhat blame for that. We're not as easy to step in and help someone anymore. Think back, you know, way back when I was younger, people hitchhiking was the norm, right? But now it's like people don't hitchhike, for one, because, you know, they don't know who the drivers are coming by, and even when the drivers see them now, they don't know if they're going to be, you know, having ill intent if they get in their vehicle or not. So it's really such a distrusting type of society that we have, and it's troubling that we're actually in that place right now. I don't know what to do to fix it, but you know, if I were to think back on, you know, because I'm a problem solver, I like to solve problems, right? But I guess what we can only really do is we change it within ourselves, right? We need to be that person that looks out for one another and continues to do good, you know, in the world, and not shy away from those moments where we can be a good person to someone else and to help them out in whatever capacity that we can. Some of our workplaces even have abandoned us in the mindset of, you know, helping another fellow worker. One of my dad's friends, actually, Ron was an iron worker, and hey, you know, the iron worker's got a tough job, right? And you know, they're climbing steel beams, and they're the men out there that really are putting themselves out there, you know, to build these structures and whatnot. And Ron had made a pretty big sacrifice, actually, in his working career, and someone fell from the floor above him, and his instinct was to reach out and grab this individual, and he held on to him. He dislocated his shoulder, and he didn't let go, and they screamed for guys to get over there to help him pull this guy over to the platform that Ron was on, and he essentially saved this young man's life. And Ron was troubled with a lot of physical ailments from the shoulder separation. I remember that he's actually holding on through a lot of pain and ligament stretching and stuff like that. So he's probably torn a lot more than the average person that just dislocates their shoulder. And he suffered for a long time, and WorkSafe was not there for him. They essentially had told him that he should never have caught him. It's a pretty brutal pill to swallow, you know. But knowing Ron, he never had a life moment of regret of saving that individual, because I'll tell you what, living with letting that guy fall and die, there were several stories up, and living with that the rest of your life, or living with the pain that you sacrificed for this this young man who had a whole life ahead of him, doesn't compare, right? But that's when men were men, and men did the right thing, and we need to do the right thing. We need to get back to that. We need to teach our younger kids about that as well. Kind of hits home as well that Charlie was 31. He's same age as my son and my oldest boy, and his kids are the same ages as my grandkids, both of them. And I'd imagine my grandkids are, my granddaughter without their dad, their spouse, at this point in their life where, you got all your working career ahead of you, and you're just charged with energy and things to offer the world. You're just out there, and you got the energy to put into the kids and all that stuff, and just gone, right, in the blink of an eye. It's devastating. I was trying to figure out where we actually started from, and I believe that little rainbow bridge is right here, really close to the end. So we crossed there and came all the way over along here, and came up the backside. So that's a pretty good hike. I have no idea how far that is, maybe 5K total, but yeah, we're gonna head back from here. There's people out there that are actually celebrating the death of Charlie. I find it actually almost demonic. It probably is demonic. It's the only thing that I could actually use to describe people celebrating a human death like that. It's just ridiculous. And it's to my understanding today that they do have somebody in custody, and I'd actually don't celebrate that as well, because I know that the people are calling for the death penalty and whatnot. And this young man that they have in custody, 21 years old, I believe, got his whole life ahead of him. I always look at, these younger people, if they lose their life in a whatever, it could be a car accident, right? I look back at these and I think this kid's 21 years old, and if he gets a death penalty, it's like I've lived like 2.5 times more life than this young guy, right? And it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't sit with me at all. And I don't think we should be celebrating those things. We need to fix the human race. I mean, whatever happened to just being kind to each other? We got to be kind. There's no other way to really express my my thoughts about that. A bunch of opinions that have been formed. He didn't like somebody's opinion on something that he actually was willing to end his life over it. That's something's not right there, right? Psychologically, I think anybody that's celebrating that, anybody that's willing to do those kind of actions is just absolutely lost the narrative. We got a mental health issue here happening in our countries, and that's really what needs to be fixed here. just not sure what this video is about here. I mean, it's supposed to be my adventure out here in Manning Park, but like I said at the beginning, my heart is kind of heavy the last few days, and I just I'm not really sure how to process this. It kind of affects me a little bit differently than any of the things in the past, and this one here is just, it just doesn't have a good outcome. It really doesn't, and none of this has to be in vain for either side to just reflect back at this exact situation, and we can look at ourselves and say, hey, well, what can I do to fix this, right? All we have to do is just actually be tolerant and kind to each other. And I don't know. What do you think? Maybe you can let me know in the comments, because I don't know what to do with this, and it's unsettling. It's not about picking sides. It's not being on a side. It's just about, you know, basic kindness and respect for human life. What do we do with it? I know this isn't my regular type of adventure. We had an adventure here on this particular video, but at the same time, you know, sometimes when we go for walks, we have to process things that are in our minds and in our hearts, and just verbalize it and talk about it out loud. So anyhow, I just I've gotten this off my chest here, and we're gonna see you at the next adventure. Okay, over and out.